Once upon a time, in a beautiful village called Njili, there lived a woman named Amara. Amara was kind and always helped her neighbors. She was married to a handsome farmer named Obi. They had 2 children, a boy named Chaik and a girl named Ada. One sunny morning, as Amara was fetching water from the river, she met a young hunter named Kolechi. Kolechi had just returned from a long hunting trip and was very tired. He asked Amara for some water. Amara, being kind-hearted, gave him her water to drink. "Thank you, Amara," Kolechi said. "You have saved me from great thirst." Amara smiled and continued on her way back home. Little did she know that Kolechi was enchanted by her kindness and beauty. He thought about her all day and decided to visit her again the next day. Meanwhile, in the same village, there was a wealthy trader named Emeka. Emeka traveled far and wide, bringing goods to the village. One day, as he was selling his wares in the market, he saw Amara helping an old woman carry her basket. He admired her generosity and decided to speak to her. "Good afternoon, Amara," Emeka greeted. "You are always so helpful. I have some beautiful fabrics from the city. Please, choose any you like as a gift." Amara was surprised but grateful. "Thank you, Emeka. You are very kind." As the days went by, both Kolechi and Emeka found reasons to visit Amara. Kolechi would bring her fresh meat from his hunts, and Emeka would bring her gifts from his travels. Amara enjoyed their company but was always careful to respect her husband, Obi. One evening, Obi noticed that Amara was receiving many gifts. "Amara, where do you get all these beautiful things?" he asked. Amara hesitated but decided to tell the truth. "They are gifts from Kolechi and Emeka. They visit often to thank me for my kindness." Obi was worried. He trusted Amara but feared that the attention from Kolechi and Emeka could cause trouble. He loved his wife very much and didn't want anything to come between them. "Amara," Obi said gently, "please be careful. I trust you, but others might misunderstand your friendship with Kolechi and Emeka." Amara nodded. "I understand, Obi. I will be more careful." Days turned into weeks, and Amara continued to see Kolechi and Emeka, but she always remembered Obi's words. She tried to find a way to balance her friendships without causing any trouble in her marriage. One day, a big festival was announced in the village. It was a time for singing, dancing, and celebrating. Everyone was excited, especially the children. Chaik and Ada couldn't wait to see the colorful costumes and hear the drumbeats. On the day of the festival, the village square was filled with laughter and music. Amara, Obi, Chaik, and Ada joined the celebration. Kolechi and Emeka were also there, each hoping to spend time with Amara. As the sun set and the moon rose, the festival reached its peak. Amara found herself in a difficult situation. She had to decide how to handle her friendships with Kolechi and Emeka while being respectful to Obi and her family. As the moon shone brightly over the village square, the drums began to play faster. People danced in a circle, their colorful clothes swirling like a rainbow. Amara danced with her children, laughing and enjoying the night. Kolechi, standing at the edge of the crowd, watched Amara with admiration. He gathered his courage and walked up to her. "Amara," Kolechi said, offering his hand, "may I have this dance?" Amara looked at Kolechi and then at Obi, who was talking to some friends nearby. She hesitated for a moment but then remembered Obi's trust in her. "Of course, Kolechi," she said with a smile, taking his hand. They danced together, moving gracefully to the rhythm of the drums. Kolechi's eyes sparkled with happiness, but Amara remained thoughtful, remembering her promise to Obi. Meanwhile, Emeka, carrying a beautifully wrapped gift, approached Obi. "Good evening, Obi," he greeted. "I have a special gift for Amara. May I give it to her?" Obi glanced at the gift and then at Emeka. He felt a twinge of jealousy but decided to be polite. "Thank you, Emeka. You can give it to her after the dance. Emeka nodded and waited patiently. As the dance ended, Kelechi bowed to Amara. Thank you, Amara. You dance beautifully. Thank you, Kelechi, Amara replied. Stepping away, Emeka walked up to her and handed her the gift. For you, Amara. A little something to show my appreciation. Amara accepted the gift graciously. Thank you, Emeka. You are very kind. Obi joined them, and Amara felt a wave of relief. She introduced the two men to each other, hoping to ease the tension. This is Kelechi, the brave hunter, she said, smiling. And this is Emeka, the generous trader. Kelechi and Emeka shook hands, each sizing up the other. Obi watched them closely, ready to step in if needed. The festival continued with more dances and songs. Amara felt the weight of her friendships with Kelechi and Emeka. She wanted to be fair to both of them while honoring her marriage to Obi. As the night went on, Amara decided to speak with Obi in private. They walked to a quiet corner of the square, away from the noise. Obi, Amara began softly, I care about our family more than anything. I don't want Kelechi and Emeka's attention to cause any problems between us. Obi looked into Amara's eyes and saw her sincerity. He took her hands in his. Amara, I trust you. But we must find a way to handle this situation. We cannot let it continue like this. Amara nodded, determined to find a solution. But how could she balance her friendships with Kelechi and Emeka while keeping her marriage strong? The next morning, as the sun rose over Njili, Amara sat by the river, thinking deeply. She needed a plan to keep her friendships without causing any misunderstandings. Suddenly, an idea came to her. Later that day, she gathered Kelechi, Emeka, and Obi in their home. The atmosphere was tense, but Amara remained calm. I've been thinking, Amara began. You both have shown me kindness, and I'm grateful. But it's important to respect my marriage and family. So, I have a proposal. Kelechi and Emeka exchanged curious glances. Obi listened intently. From now on, Amara continued, we will only meet in the presence of my husband, Obi. This way, there will be no room for misunderstandings. Kelechi and Emeka looked surprised but nodded in agreement. Obi smiled, feeling relieved and proud of Amara's wisdom. A few days later, Kelechi visited with fresh meat from his hunt. As planned, they all sat together, sharing stories and laughter. Kelechi was impressed by Obi's strength and skill as a farmer, and Obi admired Kelechi's bravery. The next week, Emeka brought beautiful fabrics and trinkets from his travels. They gathered again, this time discussing Emeka's adventures. Obi and Amara listened with fascination, and Emeka felt a growing respect for Obi's leadership in the village. As the weeks turned into months, their gatherings became a cherished tradition. The bond between Obi, Amara, Kelechi, and Emeka grew stronger. The village noticed the harmony in their relationships and admired their unity. One sunny afternoon, the village elders called for a meeting. Amara, Obi, Kelechi, and Emeka attended, curious about the announcement. Elders of Njili, the chief began, we have observed the unity and respect between these four. They have shown us the power of friendship and trust. We should follow their example and work together for the good of our village. The villagers cheered, inspired by their example. Amara felt a wave of relief and happiness. Her plan had worked, and peace was restored. But just as they thought life would settle down, a messenger arrived from a neighboring village. He brought news of a great challenge threatening their land, a problem that required the combined wisdom, strength, and courage of the entire village. Amara, Obi, Kelechi, and Emeka knew they had to face this new challenge together. With their unity and trust, they prepared to embark on a journey that would test their bonds and change their lives forever. With the news of the great challenge spreading through Njili, the villagers gathered in the square, ready to support their four leaders. The messenger from the neighboring village explained that a terrible drought had struck, drying up rivers and wilting crops. Without help, many would suffer. Amara, Obi, Kelechi, and Emeka stood before the crowd, united in their resolve to help. They knew their combined skills and strengths were needed to solve this crisis. "We must work together," Obi announced. "Our village has always thrived through unity. We will find a way to bring water to the lands in need." Kelechi, the brave hunter, spoke next. "I will scout the area to find new sources of water. With my knowledge of the land, I can help us find a solution." Emeka, the trader, added, "I have contacts in distant villages. We can trade for supplies and knowledge to aid us in our quest." Amara, with her gentle wisdom, said, "And I will coordinate our efforts here, ensuring our village supports this mission. Together, we can overcome this challenge." With a plan in place, the villagers got to work. Kelechi set off into the wilderness, his keen eyes searching for hidden springs and underground rivers. Days turned into weeks as he tirelessly explored, finally discovering a hidden cave with a deep underground lake. Meanwhile, Emeka traveled to distant villages, trading goods for advice and resources. He learned of ancient techniques for water conservation and irrigation, bringing back valuable knowledge to Njili. Back in the village, Amara and Obi organized the people, teaching them how to build efficient irrigation systems and conserve water. The villagers worked day and night, driven by a shared purpose. When Kelechi returned with news of the underground lake, the entire village celebrated. Using the knowledge Emeka had gathered, they devised a plan to channel the water to their fields. With the combined efforts of everyone, they dug channels and built reservoirs, ensuring a steady supply of water. As the first drops of water flowed through the channels into the parched fields, the villagers cheered. Crops began to grow again, and the land flourished. The neighboring village, seeing the success of Njili, joined in the effort, and soon the entire region was revitalized. The village elders called another meeting, this time to celebrate the heroes who had saved them. Amara, Obi, Kelechi, and Emeka, the chief declared, "You have shown us the power of unity and friendship. Through your leadership, you have brought life back to our land." The villagers applauded, grateful for their leaders' wisdom and bravery. Amara felt a deep sense of satisfaction, knowing they had overcome the greatest challenge together. As the sun set over the thriving fields, Amara, Obi, Kelechi, and Emeka stood together, their bond stronger than ever. They had not only saved their village but had also taught everyone the true meaning of community, and so, the village of Njili flourished, its people living in harmony and friendship. Amara and Obi's family grew, with Kelechi and Emeka becoming like uncles to Chike and Ada. They often told stories of their adventures, reminding everyone that with unity and trust, any challenge could be overcome.